Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, August the 13th, and you're live here with me, Tammeron, at 222 on this Tuesday. So I'm very excited. I've got my little full moon cup that I'm drinking my tea out of with you guys this week because we have the full moon energy arriving in just 2 more days. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit of some personal information with you guys in this video as well. So I'm really wanting to know how you guys are feeling. Comment below in this video if you like, because with the full moon arriving in Aquarius, along with some other alignments that are happening in this sky, for me, it's been really showing up in my emotions regarding my personal relationships. And so this is what we're going to be getting advice from Spirit this week. Like, how are we going to release some of these old, stagnant emotional energies that could possibly be negative? And how are we going to release them? Because remember, the full moon illuminates what it is that we are feeling. So this is why sometimes people get super emotional, or they feel like they're crying, or they just feel like confused or whatever. It's because it's bubbling up and it needs to come to the surface so that we can release it. All right. So for me personally, I was feeling a lot of guilt and anger, like deep rooted anger towards myself, not so much towards other people. It was just like me reflecting on some choices that I made a very, very long time ago and being angry with myself for not actually paying attention to those red flags that I was seeing. So again, once I was able to recognize it, it just dissipated, right? But I literally felt like I was having an anxiety attack. So it was quite funny, but at least I was able to honor it and to let it go. So we're going to be getting advice from Spirit as well. And I just want to remind you guys that you can also send me a private message or comment below if you'd like to receive a 30-minute reading with me below. With me, I'll put the link below for you guys, because you know, sometimes when the energy is this intense, we don't know who to turn to. Sometimes we really don't want to share things with anybody, and you really don't have to. So when you get an intuitive reading from me, you know, it's the reading. I'm just the messenger. I'm just sharing the message on how you can release this. And of course, during my readings, a lot of time I get intuitive hits on how to refer some holistic modalities for you guys to help release some of these old stagnant emotions. And we use such thing as high grade essential oils. And I've also gone back to offering remedies using Bach flower remedies as well. And I am certified in this, so I have over 18 years experience. And I currently have been using one myself. So I mix together, it says here on July 22nd. So I've got some Bach flower remedies in here, and I do believe that that's what helped to release, like to loosen what was actually in my body, my emotional body, so that it could be released. And they are really a gift from nature. Again, I see a lot of people using these holistic modalities, but I am sorry, I just don't see people really understanding how to use them effectively. And so they say they don't work. And people are right. They don't work if you don't know how to use them. So that is my background and experience. And again, I continue to share with people during the readings and in follow-ups, and also in Tammeron's Place membership. So again, with that being said, feel free to send me a private message as well. So we do have this full moon energy. And again, I have actually taken my Bach flower remedy that I've created, and it's actually made with water. You put the Bach flower remedy in here, like whatever remedy it is that's it's being recommended, and oops, pardon me. And then I add that into water, and then I take the water and I put this actually into a liquid, and any type of liquid. And so you get the results of the Bach flower remedy. So that's actually the magic that's in my teacup. Along with, I've been using Labrador tea, because Labrador tea helps to release anger. So luckily for me, this grows right on my property. I do dehydrate it. So it is a gift at a lot of my events at Tammeron's Place, my women's tea and tarot gatherings, and as well as my full moon gatherings, which we have one happening tomorrow evening on Wednesday here at here in Thunder Bay from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. So if you do have any questions about that as well, I've been posting on my personal page and on this business page, and we still have room for a few more people. We tap it out at 12 people. And also, I will be traveling around once fall comes after October so that I can be offering these full moon gatherings in other areas in Canada. So again, they tap out at 12 people live, but there is an opportunity for you to connect with me on the following evening on an actual Zoom call. So really excited about that. So again, Labrador tea, and I've added the Bach flower remedies with a zest of, a few drops of doTERRA lime. And lime gives me that zippity-doo-dah, that zesty feeling. Like it's extremely uplifting. So again, I was needing something to really release that energy. And so it just changed my vibrational energy to something higher. Geez, I can't even speak. Okay, so we've got someone commenting, David Marin. Hello. Hi, David. Thank you for joining. So even though you're a guy, please feel free to comment. I do a lot of work with women. However, I do have a lot of men that follow me on social media, especially Instagram. So my handle on Instagram is Tea and Tarot with Tammeron. So I do daily spiritual guidance, introspective insights using a 2-card tarot deck too. And every day of the week, I follow the planets. So for example, Sunday is we're connecting with the sun, which is about our ego. Monday is connecting with the moon, our emotions. And today, for example, is Mars. That's why I'm wearing red. And Mars is really about what we're passionate about, like what drives us right now. So again, with today's reading, that's what we're kind of asking is that, what is it that you really are passionate? Like you're finally like, I'm done with this. I just want this released and out of my body. Okay. So this is the advice that we're getting from Spirit. So I've just pulled the 2 cards. I don't spend time shuffling. So for this full moon energy ahead in Aquarius, the first card that's coming up, if you're a number person, it is the number 7. And the challenge that we're facing is to the sea. So what this card actually represents, it means going with the flow. So for example, if we're wanting to really release something that no longer serves us, once something gets released, something new always flows into our life. So what this card is actually saying is to pay attention to the new things that are occurring in our life, because sometimes destiny is waiting for us. So, it's maybe something that we may not be expecting. However, once we clear something, again, something new comes in. So this card is actually saying is, go with the flow a little bit and just, try not to resist so much of what's actually going on, and to honor also these emotions that are bubbling up and just let them go. Okay. Don't get caught up in feeling like guilty that you've had negative emotions and that kind of stuff. Remember, we are human beings and we experience the positive and the negative. So a lot with the younger people, they make a lot of comments to me when I do readings for them, and they almost feel ashamed that they have negative emotions. Negative is not necessarily bad. It's just something that needs to be illuminated to remind you it's to let it go. All right. Because the good and the bad, right? And so there's nothing wrong with you as a person. And your action step is coming up as number 14, and it's saying, truth be told. All right, so when this card shows up in the upside down position, it's showing up as a protection card. So it's just read a little bit differently. So what this actually means is that you have to remember to communicate with yourself first before you speak to someone else. So let's go back to this card. If something new comes up in your life this week, and the challenge is that you're going to go with the flow, and you're going to release something and something new comes in, don't just be jumping the gun and saying yes to everything and everyone and getting all caught up in that energy, because you're just transforming that energy, right? You need to speak to yourself first, and you have to tell your own truth. So for example, if someone wants to do something with you and they say, oh, can I do this on the side, or can I add this, or can I bring something or whatever, and you honestly don't want that to happen, then just be honest and say, no, Like, and learn to have boundaries around yourself, because what you'll find is that people will respect you more because you do have these boundaries. And you're going to find that you won't feel like such a doormat anymore, because there's no need to be nice, right? You don't have to say yes to something if you honestly don't mean yes. It just means simply no. And when you stand up for yourself, then you don't have to send out a negative energy with it when you say no. Say no with love, right? And that is the respect, the balance that's actually going to happen for you. All right. Any questions? Can you tell me anything about myself if it's okay? David? Nope, sorry, I don't use Facebook Live to do personal readings. If you have a specific question for yourself that you'd like to get a reading for, please feel free to comment on the link below, or you can send me a private message and you can book a reading with me. I only do 12 readings a month. All right, that's it, because I'm busy doing other things and creating videos and hosting these live events. And it's actually August, so I'm in still creation mode, so preparing for September. So feel free to message if you would like to purchase a 30-minute reading, all right? And I can help you out there. It's a very powerful week ahead, okay? Okay, there we go, awesome. All right, there you go, boundaries, right? It's about wanting to support people, but everybody does things differently. And so when you're following people on social media or whatever, you have to see how people are doing things different. I go live every week to help support you guys so that you get this free advice, and I start building a relationship with people that don't actually know me. All right. And then these videos are placed on YouTube later in the day so that you can share them with your friends. And feel free to follow me under my YouTube channel under the same name, Tammeron's Place. And you'll see all the weekly videos up there as well, right? Plus there's some added playlists and things like that. So there we go. If anybody is still wanting some extra advice, again, for this week, if you do book the reading with me, we take these 2 cards as the initial cards for the week that are coming up. And then when you do a 30-minute reading with me, we continue the message from the cards to help support you on an emotional level. All right, so I hope to see you guys again next week here on Tuesday at 222 with me, Tammeron, a spiritual guide and founder of Tammeron's Place, a retreat for spiritual growth. See you then. Bye-bye.